It is 6:44 a.m. and I am about to visit Channel Islands National Park, my last national park in the lower 48 states of America. And I was so excited. Yes. So right here on the beach of Ventura is the first time that I get to lay eyes on the Channel Islands. This is my first time seeing them, and I was so excited. There's kelp forests out there. It's a wild island, so you land and the only way to stay there is to camp overnight, which is what I'm doing with a buddy of mine meeting me pretty soon here. I can't think of a better national park to finish this tour on, man. Oh gosh, I'm so excited. Let's go get on this boat. As ignorant as it might sound, I didn't even know California had islands until I started this national park tour. So I invited one of my dear friends, Greg, to come join me for an adventure of a lifetime. Greg is making it with seconds to spare before the boat leaves here. Let's go! With the morning sun at our backs and all our passengers finally on board, thank you, Greg, we started headed west across the channel that the Channel Islands are named for to Santa Cruz Island. Here is the start of one of the most productive bands of ocean on the planet. From about the Channel Islands, as you go up the coast through Northern California, Oregon, Washington, the Puget Sound of Canada, all the way up to Alaska, here is where you'll find some of the most whales, dolphins, fish, tuna, lobsters. There is an amazing amount of wildlife here, and it is magnificent. You're going to see some of it when we land on Santa Cruz Island. Oh my gosh. Greg, how you feeling?
Feeling good.
Yeah?
Got a little nap in.
Greg got 2 hours of sleep in last night before he came here, and he still showed up with 3 minutes to spare. He still showed up. Officially on my last national park. I haven't seen the national park sign yet, so we can't quite count it, but look at how crazy this place is, dude. I've never been to a place like this. There's 150 endemic species on this island that don't exist anywhere else. Nowhere. Right here. That's it. Look how crazy this is. And the kelp, man. Oh my gosh, look at this kelp. Look at how crazy this stuff is. Like, I'm gonna get in that water. It's gonna be freezing, but we gotta get in there. Oh, dude. After a little morning introduction by the ranger, I finally got to declare myself a completionist of every national park in the lower 48 states. Last national park, baby! Let's go! Let's go!
Very much, but hey, man, I don't know you about.
I appreciate that compliment as well. So Greg and I just made it here to our campsite. We're gonna set up, eating a little bit of chocolate to set up here. Check it out a little. So we're kind of in the gully down here, and we just found out also that there's a year-round source of water on the island. So you can go up and there's a little waterfall like 9 miles away, way over this way. So we've got an insane amount of hiking to do before we leave tomorrow. All right, right now, let's set up the tent. Oh my gosh, this is a good chocolate bar. LA, man, has crazy food stuff. Top this chocolate. It was like Chipotle for chocolate bars. You make your own chocolate bar. Man, that's a good chocolate bar. Did it take me too long to set up my tent? Probably, yeah, for a guy that does this all the time. But Greg lives in Hollywood, so we can still look at him and be like, ah! I'm joking.
It's not my normal tent.
Wow, look at that, man. It is just like a little cot. It's like,
Oh god,
wow.
it's kind of cool.
Look at that. The thing is like 3 feet wide. That's sweet. All right, so remember how I was just making fun of Greg? I just set up my tent and missed 2 pieces. So there's something wrong with this structure, but I don't know what it is. So I feel like I have to apologize to Greg right now. It's like, because his that's a solid structure. I don't care what anyone says, right? That thing's not coming down. This, I don't know, this might not be fox proof yet. Interesting. Okay, so Greg and I were just both super underslept when we landed here on the island. So it's like 3 o'clock now. We got here at like 11. I think we both just took probably a 2-hour nap, almost 3-hour nap, surprisingly. Now, before it gets too dark, we got like 2 hours of solid daylight left. We're gonna head down and try our luck at going under the sea and checking out these kelp forests. I've snorkeled a lot of places, never in a kelp forest before, and the only problem is that the water is like 55 degrees, maybe low 50s probably, so it's cold, but sun's out, so I'm gonna try not to waste the opportunity. If I'm ever gonna swim in a kelp forest, now's the time. Oh my gosh. Oh god, my voice is still shaking a bit. I just dunked my head. I was gonna just go test it real quick, and it is mad cold. I didn't even get the chance to bring the camera, and I just started, like, the second I put my face in the water, I did one of those. Oh, if it was a river, you know, I'd get back in, I'd do a quick dunk, go back to the van. But right now, out here, nowhere warm. To get warm, and there's zero visibility. Like, I feel like I'm too cold to even talk sense really right now. That is not okay. Right now, I'll try again tomorrow if it's really sunny, but this is gonna be a land trip, is what that just said to me. I'll get kelp somewhere else when it's not December, but oh my god, that was cold. I was so looking forward to swimming on those kelp forests when I went to the Channel Islands, but going in December, it was just too cold. So instead, Greg and I spent the evening checking out some of these cool channel foxes. They were dropped off on this island who knows how many thousands of years ago. No one knows how they got here, but now they're a totally unique species that doesn't exist anywhere else in the world. And look how cute they are! They're so adorable. They're like little corgi foxes, like crossed with a squirrel. It's amazing. But so we saw a couple foxes and started heading up on our first little hike. And you can see how untouched and how beautiful some of this land actually is. In California, you don't get a whole lot of coastal wilderness that's like true wilderness, because there's cities up and down every single beach. But you go to the Channel Islands and you see what it's really like. And this first little hike that we took, Greg and I were like, oh man, we've got some stuff to do while we're here. This is gonna be awesome. Good morning, day 2 here on the Channel Islands. Greg and I went to bed probably like maybe 5:40 last night, probably asleep by like 6:30. Woke up at 7 o'clock this morning, so we were in bed for like a solid 12 hours. Greg was freezing, unfortunately.
I got bundled up, baby.
Didn't sleep maybe as much as he wanted to. But today's our day where kelp forest swimming didn't work out yesterday, so today we're headed up the mountain, and probably got like 7 hours, something like that, before the boat's here to pick us up. So we've got 10 miles to do, and it should be pretty straightforward. But I mean, the thought process is, if we get lost out here for another night, like, there's worse places to be, right? So we're gonna bust a move in just a minute here, see if we can make it to the top. Whenever I start hiking, there's a time at the beginning of every hike where you gotta like burn out the sludge. I don't know, I feel like I'm in way better shape, and then I start hiking, and the first 20 minutes you're breathing so much harder than you feel like you should be. But like 20 minutes from now, you just wait, we're gonna be dialed in.
monster of a man. He's not even breathing hard. And he's just grinding it out. And here we are at long last. The wind is whipping. A little celebratory cool off. Congratulate us for making it to the top of the Channel Islands. Let's go. Let's go. So this is special because it's the last national park that I have in the lower 48 states. My 54th national park out of 63. I still got some other islands to go to, and Alaska and freaking American Samoa down by New Zealand, but this is the end of an era of finishing this national park right here. Can you think of a better place to finish it out than right here? Oh my gosh. So when I get down, I'm gonna show you some footage from some of the other national parks and pictures and tell you my favorite ones, biggest takeaways from this. But Channel Islands, man, the foxes especially, so cool out here. It's so cool. So Greg and I wanted to come down the fun zone. I just found the sign. So I think we added an extra 2 miles because Scorpion Pier is still 4.7 miles that way. So this is what adventure is, this is the best. But look, at least we know where we're at, right?
Yes, we do. Positivity, I like it.
I don't think Greg's ever coming with me on a hike again. This is good. This is the good one, though. The good stuff. For a little perspective on how far we've come, you can see the peak of the mountain up there. We came from the ocean over here. We hiked up to the top of this, hiked down this trail, and then we're coming back up this way. Another like 3.8 miles back to the campground. That's like a 15-mile day, and it's 12 o'clock right now. Heck yeah. Woo. $30,848 steps later, I think is what you said, right?
Something like that.
And we finished that trip, getting ready to leave now. Wow. That one was a trial. Hey, post-production Jake here, way after we got off the mountain on Channel Islands. As I promised, I was going to show you some of the moments that were my favorites from previous national parks. So I'm going to show you all those in just a moment. I just wanted to shout out that if you want a list of my top favorite places that I've been in America, I have a list of like 59 of the best towns in the country that you can download at the link in the description, from like the Shenandoah Valley of Virginia, up to like Bar Harbor, Maine, up to like Grand Marais, Michigan. Like, we have places everywhere that you can get all of them for free when you just click the little link in the description. Now, I'll show you some of my other favorite national parks. There's a ton of national parks, so these are just a few little snippets, but thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully, we can get it up before 2025. Peace. Here we come. Welcome to Dry Tortugas. Oh my gosh. It looks like Greece in here, man. I've been to a couple military forts. This is undoubtedly the coolest thing ever. Look at this. Look at it. You've got an oasis on the inside here. Just like the best place you could ever ask for. And then you walk out here and Sergey's got the king's perch right now. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, and there's tarpon and fish here in the ocean. Like, you've got another little island over here. This is paradise. Probably would have sucked to be a soldier here still, but man, look at how clear that water is. 6 a.m. here on Isle Royale, and I gotta turn on the camera and tell the story right now because last night I had probably the most incredible wildlife experience of my entire life. And I don't even understand how I'm this lucky. So I guess I'll start by saying why I think this happened. So last night I cut my finger really badly, and I'm still all red all over here. I was bleeding everywhere. Like, you can see it's on my sweatshirt. I was bleeding on my sweatshirt. I bled on my hammock. I bled on my blanket. I was bleeding everywhere, and I couldn't get it to stop. So I go to bed last night, and I hear something coming into the camp last night, like these heavy footsteps. There's foxes here on Isle Royale. There's no dogs allowed here. There's moose that are basically the only other big animals. So whatever's coming into camp, I'm like, bro, what else can that be but a wolf, like a wild wolf? Because there's like 30 wolves here on the island. And I hear these footsteps, pop, 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 coming in, running through the brush. And I'm in my hammock, just kind of like trying to peek out. And right up here, the forest is black. It's maybe 10:30 last night, 11 o'clock last night. The forest is pitch black. And I look up and I can see where the footsteps are coming, but it's so dark I can't see it. So this animal comes down the hill past me, and until it was silhouetted against the lake, and that was the first time I could see it because there's light coming off the water, and I can see like the back of this big shaggy like dog looking animal coming through camp. It gets maybe 10 feet away from me in front of the lake, and it turns and it looks, and I can see the silhouette of like the perfect wolf image, like 2 wolf ears and the round face looking right at me. I'm saying like maybe 10 feet away, man, like here to the other edge of the dock, maybe. And it's right there, and it has a moment where it looks at me and it's like, were you the thing that was bleeding last night? It's like, well, all right. And then just kept on moving. I don't know. I don't know why it happened. Maybe it would have happened if I was bleeding or not. I'm not saying wolves are hunting people, anything like that, okay? But I'm saying that I am the luckiest person alive, all right? And I think cutting myself last night lit up my camp with probably the sweetest smells, because my blood is sweet, as everyone knows. All right. And this wolf came right into camp. It was just like, wait, what's going on, guys? Everyone okay? All right, peace. And then just kept walking right on down the trail. You know, this was an up close encounter with a wild wolf, one of the most elusive animals on the planet. And the reason why it happened is because I'm here on Isle Royale, probably the most unique national park in the country, where wolves are not scared of people. It's the only place in the world like this that I know of. Wolves might be a problem at some point, that wolves aren't scared of people, but this wolf was not even slightly afraid. It came right into camp, was 10 feet away from me, and kept on cruising right down. So I definitely got my money's worth for this experience coming to Isle Royale. It was phenomenal. I've never experienced anything like this. So it was so awesome, man. I'll take that one with me till I die. Like,